Hey everyone, Jason here today with another parts sorting vlog. Well, here I am again sorting lots of brick and plates. I want to talk about some alternative storage for storing Lego. We all know about the Sterilites and the stack-on containers that you have seen in several of my videos, and those are really good to use. But what if you can't find them anymore? I'm already facing that problem when trying to find the Sterilites to store my Lego in. Well, there's a couple ways you could do it. You can just get some containers, or you can build your own drawer system. So what I'm doing here, put that up real quick, is I'm buying these shoebox type containers. These are made by KIS, and they're just what you'd store shoes in, and they come with lids and stuff. These are only 97 cents at Walmart, and that's a pretty good price. I don't know how durable these are. They feel a little flimsy, but these would be good for storing lightweight stuff. So I was thinking about making a system with cubby holes so I can slide them in and out like a drawer. And of course they'd have the lid on top to keep the dust out. They'd be sealed tighter than the Sterilites. And I kind of got to thinking though, you could either stack them or store them in cubbies. Now another option that I could do is I can build my own drawer and shelving unit. Now the problem with that is wood is pricey, and if I were to build something like that, I would probably build it out of oak and have it really fancy. Make it more like a high-end Lego room. I don't really want to have big massive cabinets taking over the room. I mean, that's just a little too much for me. So there's a couple ways I can do it, or I can make fancy cabinets and slide these in. I'm kind of mixed emotions on how I'm doing this right now. I've even seen some people where they use coffee cans. I use a few coffee cans for them. Shoe boxes is also another one. You can even use butter containers. I mean, like this. Country Crock. And it's full of Friends figure dolls. Or Cascade dishwashing soap. That's another kind of container. That didn't come with the lid. But that kind of stuff is what you could use on a budget. It's recycling and repurposing, you know. That's kind of cool. Everybody likes to recycle and repurpose. It's cheaper that way. Okay, so basically, that's how I'm doing things. That's kind of like my goal. I want to repurpose some stuff. I might go into a more formal video on that later. But, you know, the whole point about building a Lego room up is to enjoy it without having to, you know, break the bank. Buying all these storage containers, it can cost you. Imagine buying $100 worth of containers. Sometimes you can even go to places like Goodwill and find containers cheap. I think one time I was at Goodwill and I found 10 of them for $1. That's not bad at all. That's pretty darn cheap. 10 of them for $1. You know, that right there, you know, if they had a whole bunch, you can buy 100 of them for $10. And you can get pretty far on that. Now, you might not be able to find matching sets for what you need, but hey, you know, what if they're cheap? It's better to keep your Lego dust-free than have dust getting all over it and sprinkling on it, and you have to end up taking a little paintbrush and spending 10 hours trying to clean all the dust between the studs. Now, the advantage of using these type of shoe boxes with the lids is you can keep the dust out of these. Unlike the Sterilite containers where, even though if you got the drawers, the dust can still go through the cracks around the sides. That's probably the only downfall with those. They're not completely sealed. So, you know, it just depends on how you want to sort this, you know, your Lego room. You know, I want to make the Lego room as convenient as possible. And I also want to make it to where I can just, you know, I can grab parts easily. So storage is always the number one thing we have to worry about, especially when we're here sorting parts. And plus, this is much easier. Now, if you're sorting smaller stuff, these little type of containers come in handy. I've had these for about 15 years. I used to store electronic stuff in them, like capacitors and resistors and stuff. And you can even use an ice cream tray to sort smaller stuff, which is cool. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Now, if you're lucky enough to have like an old shelving unit or an old dresser, something with some drawers, that even works too. And just repurposing a lot of this stuff, and it's on a budget. I've seen where people have spent thousands of dollars on a Lego room, trying to make it look as perfect as possible. And for somebody like myself, I want to spend my my paycheck on Lego, not on to make the room look better. Because storage is storage. And so is dropping the wrong piece in the bin. That's never cool. So when the next room tour comes along, you're going to see a lot more. A lot more of this is going to be shown. And I don't know when I'm going to... Usually I do those room tours in November anyways. So it's all about storage. That's all it boils down to is, what do we use for storage? And anything helps. You know what? Heck, you could even these. You know, if they got the little holes on the sides, you know, those would be good for bigger parts, like bigger plates. I'm trying to think of anything else. You could even use a hat or something. But all it boils down to is, what do we use for storage and what's cheap? Now, I would just stay away from those expensive containers. I just don't see the need for them. So, honestly, more and more I'm thinking of leaning towards these shoebox things, these shoebox containers. They work the best. You know, especially when Sterilite doesn't make the drawers that I like anymore, so I may have to contact them and see what they can do. But I doubt they'll help me. They'll probably say, well, go check your local big box store that marks them up a hefty price. You know, I want to do this on a budget. I don't want to have to blow it. Well, I think that's about it. But tell me what you guys and gals use for a quick fix. Don't just say, oh, I spent $10 million to do a Lego room. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear like, oh, I'm on a budget too. This is what I do. I know some of you even use containers that your gum or candy comes in. I mean, hey, as long as it works, who cares, right? You know, that's how it is. So I think that's it for the night. I'm sorted out. I'm pooped. But yeah, I mean, now if there was only a way to sort this stuff without having to actually do it, would be a convenience. I'm not a, I mean, sometimes sorting is soothing, but right now I just really don't want to do it. I really don't. And I did get a couple requests for tutorials for the large pine tree, and somebody had noticed that I had changed it up a bit from the trunk. So I may end up doing it if I get enough requests for the tree. I may end up doing a tutorial on it, okay? So if you know somebody else who needs a tutorial on that, encourage them to speak up. If anybody hadn't figured out by now, when I do tutorials, it's like the motorhome and the fifth wheel. I still do you guys that motorhome, but like not the fifth wheel, but the travel trailer. Well, even the fifth wheel too. If I get enough requests for tutorials, I will do a tutorial on it. Okay? Just so I know you guys and gals will enjoy it. So just be sure if you want to see a tutorial on something, just say, hey, you know, can you possibly do it? And if I get enough votes for it, I will actually do a tutorial on this, on that build. Unless it's like something like the school or something, and yeah, I'm not going to do that. It's just too much. So, that's it. I'm tired. Thank you all for watching. There'll be more coming soon, so stay tuned.